thought that final year would break me until I figured out this balance. I'm a fourth year nursing student and a final year nursing student, and today I want to talk about how I balance between studying nursing internship without losing my mind. This is interesting. The first thing that I want to start with is using the commute work or commute time wisely. So if you have nursing university pretty much far away, and I would say pretty much a lot of people have that problem as it can't be near everybody, you have to use that commute work very wisely. I would say in the first few years I really used it the wrong way. I wasn't using it the right way at all. If anything, I was using it the wrongest way possible. I was taking the bus from my house to the university. I really couldn't do anything as the bus usually was filled in the early mornings, and it was not good ambiance. The negativity was all in the air. It's just not a good environment to be in. After that, I realized that I could just take my bike. It's gonna be one hell of a workout. It's a pretty good workout to take in the morning. And in fact, as a spoiler, actually it gets easier with the time. Maybe at first the commuting with the biking gets a little bit harder, but then right now I don't really feel it, as I don't even count it as my workouts, to be honest. And that really gives me the time. Sometimes I used to film videos while going to university. I can film videos, talk to people, I can answer my phone, read a book, obviously while taking care and paying attention to the road, but that is extremely important. And you don't have to actually take your bike or anything. You can take your motorcycle, you can take whatever it is, you can take the train. Maybe you can't actually just go with a bike. Maybe you have to go to the train, but you have to use the commute work wisely. I'm gonna give you 3 things that you can use, or 3 examples to use. I said number 1, if you have an activity outside of college or university. As an example, I do YouTube, so sometimes I use that time of me going to university to actually film a couple videos, so I check I get them out for my checklist. The other thing you can actually do is read some books, especially in train or whatever, bus or whatever, especially if the environment actually helps, good mood. I think reading books is actually very important. I read a lot of books every time. I read books actually every day. If you are a book reader or anything, you can actually do it while going to university. I'd say the third point, which is actually extremely important as well, which is do your important stuff, whether it's studying for exams. I study for exams a lot while going to university. In fact, I pretty much do it every exam. I have a couple questions that I haven't prepared. You know what? I have 5 minutes. I always have 5 minutes while going. So throughout the commuting time, I just pull up my phone, and guess what I do? I prepare those couple questions. And actually it works because it's based on short-term memory. And the other thing, you can also answer some phones. So if you have unread emails or messages, that's a very good time to actually read them. I'll say the second point that I really want to talk about here is planning your week in advance. So what do I mean by planning your week in advance? As it's pretty hard. You don't get to plan your week. The university gets to plan your week, innit? So there is that part of it. And you have to always be careful to take a look, because a lot of people don't really take a look at the university schedule, weekly schedule before the week. So what you want to do is take a look, see how your week's going. Do you have any exams? Do you have any important things that you should look out for? Maybe some errands, maybe some meetings with your professor, some private meetings. So you have to take those into accountability. Then the second point that you should actually add, which is how you can suit your own schedule that is outside of university with that specific schedule. So let's say I have a full internship day from 8 morning until let's say 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 or whatever it is your time, or maybe it's 12 hours from 8 to 8. I have to adapt my schedule to that exact schedule of the university. So maybe I want to train. As an example, I used to train for the longest of the times after I finish university in the morning and in the evening. So I get back home at about 7 p.m. I get my stuff, I pack my stuff, and I wear my gym clothes, and I just go gym every single day. That's how I did it. But you don't have to do that. Maybe you have time in the morning. I've seen a lot of vlogs and videos from people around the world. I've seen people from UCLA, NYC, university, I don't know what was that called, but anyway, they always go to the gym before the morning, and that could work too. For me personally, I don't go. That's just doesn't suit me, and just doesn't suit my personality and my schedule. So how I do it, I go with internship, and if any spare time, I always make sure to fill it up with, let's say, other classes that I have that are outside, like let's say driver's license, or maybe sometimes recording videos, working on my businesses, learning, reading books, maybe meeting some family, making some phone calls, responding to emails. So it doesn't really matter. You just have to use that leftover time from your university schedule that is weekly and add to it just a bunch of stuff, so you can have a very good days, and actually you don't feel like you haven't done anything. Because if you only do university in the day, sometimes you have this feeling that you haven't done much, but actually you have. It's just that because only you did university, it feels like you only have done one thing, and it was unproductive, but it was, trust me. The third point that I really want to talk about is a quick 20 to 30 minutes study bursts. So why this is important? This is absolutely and extremely important for any class, especially the hard ones, the easy ones as well, yeah? So don't get me wrong. So basically what happens is that 20 to 30 minutes is a very good time for our brain and nervous system, and it's just a very good time for any attention span for everybody. So research have shown, I'm pretty sure it's neuroscience research, have shown that after the 20, 30 to 45 minute max, everybody loses interest, everybody loses attention. And that's why a lot of lectures in class that takes 4 hours, that takes maybe more, always feels like at some point you just lose interest, you lose your attention. It's really hard to understand and comprehend. So that's what you really want to do when you are preparing on your own house, so you really don't have to sue a certain professor, certain university criteria. How you do it is you study for only bursts of 20 to 30 minutes. In fact, I'm gonna add a quick thing. This is unplanned, unprompted, testing my genius in here, which is actually if you study for 20 to 30 minutes bursts, and after that you stop, you do some other errands, maybe you go to internship, whatever it may be, actually your learning curve is better. And that was shown. I literally just watched a documentary about it, how our learning doesn't only happen when we are learning in the difficulty in doing the exercises, but actually a lot of it happens when we are not doing those exercises, when we are out of the zone, when we are out of the studying environment. We are done with the studying and we're just living our lives. There is a part of our brain that just works on those problems basically, and it slowly figures them out. And that's why a lot of the time we have a problem, whether nursing, whether internship, whether lecture, whether just a hard subject to understand, we leave it alone, we go for a walk, we take a shower, we go gym, come back, you find yourself, boom, I understood it now. And you're like, well, that was easy, how was that so hard? But actually your brain was working on it while you were doing on other stuff. And that's called moods of the brain. So that is the default mood that works on it when you're not trying. And the other one is called like neuroscience brain. Anyway, the fourth point that I really want to talk about is prioritizing by exam weight. So what do I mean by prioritizing by exam weight? This is extremely important actually, which is a lot of people actually prepare for the exams, but the way they do it is they just prepare for anything and everything, which is wrong. You shouldn't do that. It's waste of time, it's waste of energy, it's waste of money, it's waste of money, I don't know. But it could be waste of money actually, because you're using electricity and materials. But really it's a big waste of time, because you're basically doing a fundamental research that will not help you to get better grades. Not very effective. You want to have the highest ROI investment of your time, which is prioritizing, revising by exam weight. As an example, I have 2 subjects to study. One I have an exam in, and one it's not, I don't have an exam somehow. I always study for only the one that I have an exam in. So this is broad. When it comes to the niche, I have, let's say, lessons. I will only prepare the ones that I have an exam in, because the university does your job. it figures out the problem, and the professors always does that, is that they figure out the most important lessons in the lecture. So the most important lessons in the lecture, they're usually the ones in the exam. So basically, just by preparing by preparing the exam, you're actually preparing the best, hardest, most useful lessons in the exam, and you will have better knowledge, better information, the most useful information, as well as better grades. I really couldn't ask for anything better than that. I would say the only thing that I would add, which is the final point, is the fifth point in our 5 key lessons in here, which is have a weekly reset routine. Or it doesn't have to be a routine, but just have a weekly reset. So my weekly reset, or daily reset even, was gym. A lot of the time I go to the gym, my mind just literally clears out, I'm all new back again. But sometimes this is not an option for everybody. Maybe some people have different things. Maybe you don't go to the gym, but you have certain things that can absolutely indirectly just reset your brain from internship, lectures, studying, all of that. You really want to do that weekly, because that will not only help you to go back to actually nursing cycle again in the week with its hectic schedule, but also that will help you learn better. As we said, the default brain would work, and more than that, you're just happier, and mental health is way better actually. And that is a personal experience. I've seen so many people that do only internship 24/7, even in weekends they never stop, they never reset. And the other ones that actually do that, but in the weekends they only have they do have resets. They go gym, they take care of themselves, they look good, they get haircuts, whatever it is, maybe go to the beach, maybe swim, whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. As long as it is a reset, it does the job. That will really help you learn better, have a better mental game, mental situationship. People will like you and love you better. You will just be better at your job and your education and your life as overall. And actually, you will just be a better person like that, somehow. The universe is pretty ironic. So now, I would say we'll do a quick recap for all the 5 points. Number 1 is plan your week ahead. Right? So the nursing university schedule as well as yours. Second point is using commute time wisely. Maybe you read a book, maybe you prepare, maybe you answer emails. Doesn't matter as long as you actually use it. The third point is quick to 20 to 30 minute study bursts that will really help you. 4 is prioritizing by exam weight. If it's not on the exam, don't study it. And 5th is weekly reset routine that will really help you to become a better person. Now, make sure to comment down below what's the biggest problems that you are facing in nursing university, and then make sure that I'll make a video about it. Thank you.